And good morning, and welcome to this week's Isn't It Time Facebook Live show. And we're talking this week about, isn't it time to let your light shine? And I wanted to do a very quick recap, even before I start this week, about our fabulous, phenomenal, amazing, incredible, life-changing, creating, shifting, I'm just going to say that word, event that we had last weekend at the Gold Coast in the Penthouse. I have been on a high all week, albeit a little bit of a tired high. Very few people in the world get to spend time with women who are speaking truth. It inspires me every day. And we were very fortunate at the event. Morning, Elle. Good morning. Just let me know if you can hear me, by the way. As I go off on my little tangent, just make sure you can hear me. To spend time with those women uncovering purpose. And in fact, on Sunday, Jerry, my husband, for those who don't know, my husband, Jerry, he did a presentation on Sunday afternoon, which was absolutely mind-blowing, about sales. He has been selling now for almost 40 years and does large commercial real estate, but has learned a lot along the way and was willing to share some of those beautiful ahas about selling on Sunday afternoon. And it was phenomenal, and everybody, great, thank you, Elle. Everybody came away from it with a very different view. And in fact, one of the participants, my dear friend and essential oils educator and health life coach, Chris, came away from that, and within 48 hours had 5 new people contact her to be part of her gorgeous team. And we're both of us still come to terms with what actually happened. For me personally, it reminded me of the reason why I want to continue doing what I do, and I loved it. The stories that were told, through the stories that were told, those who were present were able to see and discover their purpose. And it sometimes amazed me and reminded me that oftentimes that our purpose is so close to us that we can't see it. And it takes sometimes sharing your story and then looking at uncovering some of the limiting beliefs, the self-sabotage, the imposter syndrome, the people, events, and words of your past, to help rediscover and find that purpose that is usually so close to your heart. And that's what happened on the weekend. I am again now I'm planning for the next one in September. We're calling Brilliance, because that's what happened. People just stepped into their brilliance. Still just kind of going through venues at the moment, but it'll be one of the first 2 weekends in September. So if you are interested in doing that and want to have a chat with me, I'll put a link up in a minute about you can have a chat with me to see if it's a fit for you. A couple of things that we'll be expanding on for the event, and look, can't wait for September to run it again. So if you're something that resonates with you, actually I'll just pop the link up now. If there's something that resonates with you, then just have a chat with me. Just link in for a chat, and we will we can have a chat and see if it's right for you. But again, it's only going to be a small group. Morning, Sandy. Oh, Sandy, how are you? Morning. Are you at Gilbert River, by the way? our North Queensland traveller. You have the grip of them. Yeah. So if there's something that you think that might be, and you want to talk to me, have a chat, or you can just send me a message and I'll pop you on the the advanced waitlist. So again, we'll keep it small. We're going to have it somewhere absolutely beautiful and all. So if you're ready, if you really like part of that magic, as I said, there's been just magic things happening all week this week for so many of the people that came to the event. So without further ado, one of the things I'm going to get into today's topic, one of the things that came up over and over and over again. Oh, you are. One of the things that came up over and over again on this weekend, last weekend, was that there was a person in our lives who has the ability to dull your brilliance. And for so many of the participants, it was this one person. Now, there's options sometimes to be able to walk away from that person, to not have anything to do with them, and so to clear it that way. But for oftentimes you can't do that. You know, many times that person is in your life over and over again, whether that be a relative, whether that be somebody you work with. And that came up a lot on the weekend, that there was this one person that just kind of dulled our shine. And so I want to share with you today some of the ahas that came away from that, but also some actual practical strategies you can do. I think one of the deepest lessons on the weekend for everybody there was, if not now, when? If you're not going to step into your brilliance, if you are not going to live your purpose now, if not now, when? And I heard a great podcast during the week by a guy called Joe Vivanio, I think his name was, and he did a great. It's a fabulous podcast, by the way, called Quote of the Day. My good friend Chris put me onto it. Quote of the Day, and there was a great speech I listened to from this guy that said he often speaks, and his yeah, that's right, Lucy. We all have that one person, exactly. He often speaks, and when he's speaking, somebody will come and say, oh, gosh, I wish my son had heard this. I wish my daughter had heard this. And he always says, well, what are you doing? Why is this not resonating with you? And that person will say, oh, you know, I've been doing this for 30 years. And he said, well, are you living your purpose right now? Are you doing it right now? Why do we think it's living our purpose or doing what we love to do is kind of reserved for our kids? Yeah, quote of the day. Me too, Sandy. I am so hooked on quote of the day now. Oh, gosh, fantastic. Yeah, so if not now, when? If not now, when? We kept saying that. All right, so we're going to talk about the person in your lives. So number one, women, I find, tend to feel this more so than men. And I think this is a lot to do with the imposter syndrome. That this person, and we've talked a lot about the imposter syndrome on various Facebook Lives we've done in the past, this person has a way of causing you to doubt. They have a way of getting under your skin that makes you bring up that imposter syndrome. You know, the superwoman, the perfectionist, the reluctant genius, the expert. Is that, where in there am I not who I think I am? And I'm an imposter, and are they going to find out about it? Morning, Donna. Good morning. Where are they going to find it? So that person has this way of doing it. Now, I think it does happen for men, but I don't think it happens as much. I think for us as women, we have this way of almost apologizing sometimes for who we are. I heard a quote one day this week. It might have been on that quote of the day. I can't remember. And this woman said, oftentimes I'll be talking to powerful women, and they'll be in a meeting with men, and they'll see a mistake, and the first thing they'll say is, "I'm sorry, but do you see? I'm sorry, but." We have this way of kind of almost apologizing for our brilliance. So just sit with that. Is this person who's in your life, are they touching on something that's bringing up your sense of not feeling your most brilliant self? Now, what I've found in working with, women now for, oh God, how many years, it all comes down, everything, every block we come up against, every challenge, every struggle comes down to two things. Comes down to two things. Bottom line, two things. Value, worth. Two things. All the time. Underneath all of this, value, worth. Let me know if you have a person in your life that just has a way of getting under your skin. Just let me know with a yes. Capital letters if you want. And does that person get under your skin? Do they take away your brilliance? It's so frustrating. I have this thing about challenge. Challenge is a way for us to course correct. It's a way to course correct habits. So if you've got a challenge coming up, a challenge is not to get caught in struggle, but challenge is course correcting. So if somebody is in your life and pushing your buttons, yes, Lucy, yes. And it's okay, yes. What if they do it without saying anything when you talk about that person? Interesting question, Sandy. I'm going to let me see that. Let me do something. What if they do it? Oh, yes, Sandy. Without saying anything, when you talk about that person, one person. Interesting. Okay, so Sandy, that's a really interesting question. Because that's it, don't they? Sometimes it's not them doing anything. You're just thinking about it. And it's enough. You're just thinking about this person and it's enough. And yet they have no idea. Most times they have no idea. It's you. It's what you believe about yourself and what you do. And, I've come across people in the past who I have, said, look, when you say that, it makes me feel uncomfortable or less than. And they go, oh, I don't think that. I'm just saying my truth, or I'm just. So many times it's what we believe, which is what I talked about self-sabotage. So when they make you feel powerless, yes, a lot. When they make you feel powerless, it's not them. That's a key issue in all of this. It's not about them. It's about you. And we talked a lot on the weekend about being 100% responsible for the outcomes in your life. Jack Canfield's quote, equation, E plus R equals O. Experience plus reaction, yours should be YR, equals outcome. So it's always about your response to what they do. And as I mentioned before, sometimes it's easy to walk away and we can forget them. But if you're working with them every day, and if you're all living with them, or they're a relative, parent or sister or brother or in-law even, and you can't walk away from it, it's about understanding and getting under the pattern. Okay, you've got to find the pattern. Because this person will have showed up in your life before. Even if you walk away from them and you choose not to see them anymore, unless you release the emotional connection to the pattern. I'll say that again. Unless you release the emotional connection to the pattern, that person or the image of that person or the holograph of that person, you just dressed up in different clothing, will keep showing up until you get it. Until you get it. So there's a very powerful, the pattern that holds this person in my thoughts. Okay, so Sandy, this is, that's what we'll tap on that in a minute, but that's where you can use tapping, okay? Even though I can't figure out the pattern, this person makes me feel, even though I can't figure out the pattern, this person feels it. And I open myself up to allowing the pattern to see the pattern, okay? So your subconscious is locked at something. There is a pattern, believe it or not. And look, it took me how many years to find the pattern, but it's there. It'll be there. It'll be there. Just keep trusting. That's where we talk about the 30-day peace process. You can't just do one tapping session. It's got to be over and over and over and over again. Yeah. Over and over and over and over again. But the one thing that we shared quite intensely on the weekend, it came quite late on Sunday afternoon, was the power of forgiveness. And my husband shared the most beautiful story that had us all very moved, actually, about the power of forgiveness. And to me, that is the bottom line of all of this, of all the work we do, is to be able to move to the point of where you can forgive that person, or at least forgive how they make you feel. And sometimes you'll need to forgive you. Yeah, Cecily, yes. Oh, and you have a big weekend. Person who featured in my earliest popped up again just after the weekend. Yes, isn't that incredible? And it will. And do you know what it is, though? I find it's when you're ready to have the lesson. It's when you're ready to have the lesson, to learn the lesson, to see the lesson. It's when you're ready. And Robert Kiyosaki, we went to many of the Money and You seminars back in the 90s when Robert Kiyosaki, before he was Rich Dad Poor Dad, was running these seminars called Money and You. And he used to say all the time, when and only in the nick of time. When and only in the nick of time. Sometimes when and only in the nick of time will you see it. So using tapping and meditation and visualization is the way that you will find, and that's where the habits. Now, I posted on my Instagram, actually. I redid my vision board. I've got it right there. That's why I keep looking down at it. I'm just going to show quickly. It'll be back to front. But I redid my vision board this week. I redid my word this week. Said to you last week, it's very important for me in that winter solstice time, if you haven't done it yet, to go back and do a review of your year, or so far up to 6 months. It's not about what you've achieved, it's what you've learnt and grown, how you've learnt and grown. So I redid my vision board, I redid my word this week, I reset my intentions, and it's just going so fast. So that's about habit. Again, I'm going to pop up a link. If you're not doing your habits, if you're struggling with habits, we've got the 2 and 20 principle. I'm going to just show that link now. The 2 and 20 principle is a way, why aren't you showing? 2 and 20 principle is a way that you can stay focused on your habits, the 2and20principle.com. It's free. And you getting back into your habits again, so important. And the 2 and 20 principle will help you do that. So I'll pop a link here later. Can I do this? Oh, I can do this. Wait a minute. Let me copy this. I'm going to pop it in the comments. That it will help you. Where we're there. I'm going to paste it right there, and I'm going to copy there. So you can click on that link, and it will, if you haven't done the 2 and 20 principle yet, it's a great way to fit in meditation and journaling and exercise is a big deal for me. You have to be moving your body. You'll learn the greatest lessons of your life by moving your body, let me tell you. So that's a 2 and 20 principle. So it's about getting back to those habits. They're so important. Realigning your journaling again. I write my intentions out every single day. I have a group of 6 of them based on my vision board. There's an image of my vision board of that. I keep looking at it. You can't see it. I can. I've got my vision board where when I'm doing my strength work every morning. Now I used to have it in front of my computer, but I moved my computer. Now we've got it downstairs. Jerry said to me the other day, how long is that going to stay there? I said, well, forever. Till I achieve them. So when I'm doing my push-ups in the morning, when I'm doing my stretching, when I'm doing my planks, for 2 minutes, 2 minutes to focus in on that vision board. So make sure it's there because it's so important. Just you set your brain up in the morning for achieving what you want. And, I've talked a lot about frequency illusion and confirmation bias, that you will see things when you are focused on them, you'll see the opportunities. So let's get back to that person. To answer Sandy's question before, is that it's the habits in your day that will help you find the pattern. Okay, when you say focus on it, it is there in your subconscious. Every memory you have is in your subconscious somewhere. Interesting. My sister and I, just a bit of a sidebar, my sister and I were trying to recall a memory when we were kids this week, and her view of the memory and my view of the memory are two entirely different things. When I reached out to a relative to ask her memory, it was totally different. Dates and time. It's amazing what our brain holds. Like we were all there. Why do we all have different memories? That's just amazing. In fact, it was 1968. That's a whole other story. That's a whole other story. I've got to tap on that. The habits will help you remember. Now, here's the other thing about it, and this is what came up for my sister and I this week. Her version of the memory and my version of the memory are two different ones, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That's my version of the memory. That's her version of the memory. So where I was at that time is my version of the memory. Where she was at that time is her. We don't need to be right or wrong about this. Okay. So if a memory comes up, you don't have to justify it. You just have to tap on the feeling, because sometimes your subconscious brings up different things. Okay. So just tap on the feeling. Get the feeling right. So it doesn't need to be a right memory. It's your memory. Don't get caught up in it being right. Hope I'm making sense. You're all still with me. Let me know if you're all still with me on this beautiful Saturday morning. Hot Saturday morning, for goodness sake, middle of winter. 19 degrees when I was walking. I just have to share with you my new favorite essential oil, by the way, is rose. Oh my God, I am in love with it and rubbing it on my heart. Just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. It reminds me of my mum. Beautiful. So let me know if you're there. Let me know if you're getting this. Okay, because we're going to do some tapping in a minute. Let me know. We'll do some tapping. Oh gosh, I love those essential oils. They're just magnificent. Not using any perfume anymore, using essential oils instead. I'm putting any of those chemicals in my body. Alrighty, let's go. What we might do now is we might do a tapping on this. And I want to do something a bit different. You know that I've been adding at the end of every one of these tappings, I am. And I want to just reiterate that again, why I'm doing that. Still here, good. Well, I'm still doing it. I was re-listening to Wayne Dyer being interviewed with Oprah Winfrey this week, and he was talking about the power of the words I am. And I just wanted to just sort of highlight that a little for you again. And he talks about it's, lip whisper. I know, Sandy, aren't they beautiful? Oh, and know that you're actually putting beautiful, beautiful essential oils on your skin is just, no more chemicals. It's changed everything. I even bought lipstick this week. There's no chemicals in it. All right. So he talks about the word I am. Yeah, I know, Donna. Isn't it the funniest thing? And we were starting to get a bit thingy about it. And I thought, it's your memory. That's my memory. Doesn't matter. Incredible. Where we were. It doesn't need to be right. I found myself getting a bit, I needed to be right. And I thought, that's silly. I don't need to be right on this. Crazy. Anyway, where was I talking about? Let's do the I am. That's right. So, and he was talking about the power of the words I am. That the words you use after the words I am follow you. So in tapping, I've started to introduce, when I'm working with clients, the power of the words I am. So powerful, because if you're clearing this stuff, morning Helen, you're clearing this stuff, it's really important that you begin to reframe I am. The words that follow I am follow you. All right, so here we go. I want to do a tapping video because we're going to run out of time again. A tapping this morning on that one person. So I want you to think of that one person at the moment. And if you want, write down their name just to make it a bit more powerful. And then I want you to just write down how they make you feel, even thinking about them. How do they make you feel? Small, insignificant, angry, cranky, annoyed, need to be right, whatever it is. frustrated, small. I'm going to use the word small. I'll write it down so I don't forget. They make me feel small and take my power away. You use whatever word you want. I want you to measure on a scale of 1 to 10 the impact, how as I said, I'm going to use the word small, okay? So how small that person makes me feel. Just measure on a scale and where they feel it, heart, your gut, in your head, maybe weight on your shoulders. And if, like Sandy, you kind of can't get the pattern, I would encourage you to do this all week. Tapping takes 2 minutes. 2 minutes. That's it. You can do it when you're walking. You do it in the shower. You can do it when you're boiling a kettle. You don't need to sit down where the candle's burning or anything. That's the wonderful thing about it. You just do it whenever you have this feeling, okay? So let's do this. Alrighty. Let's tap. Here we go. Even though when I think of this person, they make me feel so small. And I feel it in my heart. I deeply and completely accept myself and how I feel. Even though when I think of this person, they make me feel small. And I feel it in my heart. I don't understand the pattern yet, but I'm asking my subconscious to let me know. I deeply and completely accept myself and how I feel. Okay, tapping. Make me feel small. When I think of this person, they make me feel small. Okay, under the nose. I feel small. This feeling in my heart. When I think of this person, they make me feel small. Feeling this smallness in my heart. I know there's a pattern there. I'm opening up my heart and my mind to understand it. This feeling of feeling small, they make me feel small. This feeling in my heart, they make me feel small. This feeling in my heart. Okay, just take a deep breath and let it go. Now, just pop down any memories you have. You may need to tap on a whole lot of specifics. When we were at that family dinner that time and she said something to me and that made me feel. That time at Christmas when I gave them a present, and you want to go find all those specifics. Remember, tapping is about specifics. What we do here on this call each week is very broad and general, but it's to get you into the pattern. But if you still have a charge on it, you haven't cleared it. So if when you see this person and you still have you haven't cleared it. You know you haven't cleared it. So, and there's so many aspects that we talk about in tapping all the time. Aspects. There's so many aspects. Gary Craig calls it tabletops and table legs. Is a tabletop is your belief held up by all these aspects as memories. You've got to go and get all the aspects and memories out before the table will collapse. The belief will collapse. You don't have a charge on it. You can still be with this person. You don't have a charge on it. Then you know I've cleared it. All right, let's do a reframe. We're going to finish with the I am statements. And taking the I am statements to use as your mantra this week when you're walking and when you're, driving, when you're in the morning, before you go to sleep at night. All right, let's tap. I'm assuming that the intensity of whether that has gone down somewhat. That's what we want to look for. So even though the intensity has gone down somewhat, I choose to feel powerful. even though I was feeling small, I choose now to step into my brilliance. Even though this person has a way of getting under my skin, I choose to send them love and forgiveness. Okay. I choose to feel powerful. I choose to feel brilliant. I choose to step into my brilliance. I choose to send this person love and forgiveness. I choose to feel powerful. I choose to release all those self-sabotaging behaviors. I choose to be open to all possibilities. I choose to be powerful. Okay, just take a deep breath. Now, if you want, you can do the power pose, hands on your hips. But I want you to pull out of that, that tapping, the I am statements. I am powerful beyond measure. I shine my light brilliantly. I am worthy of success and peace. I am brilliant. So pull out the I am statements that become your mantra this week, and just keep saying them. Just keep saying, remember the words that follow I am, follow you. I am abundance. I am perfect health. I am wealth. I am joy. I am happiness. Whatever they are, words that follow I am, follow you. Okay, I'm going to pop up again, link to the Calendly if you are keen to, how can I did this before, how did I do that? Oh, there we go. Have a chat with me about either the event that's coming up, or if you want to just have a chat with me to see if and how I can work with you, and if it's the right fit. We'll just have a chat and see if it's right for you. Is that? Go on in the comments, message me. Let's set up. I've got a few events, a few open things this week is the word I'm trying to say, Sally. But I am. I'd love to have a chat with you just to see if you want to find out more about the event coming up in September. If you want to have a chat with me about how you can work with me, and if you're like, now, because if not now, when am I going to do this? When am I going to live my purpose? Can I just share with you something somebody said to me this week was, I didn't realize when I stepped into my purpose how easy and joyful it was. I didn't realize that I've been living in struggle all my life. It's a simple one. We don't have to make it complicated. So if you're ready, you want to have a chat, just send me a message. Thank you, my lovelies. Thank you for being on the call this week. It's been a delight once again to have you and you sharing all your thoughts about people in your life. Oh, won't we just have so many people, why don't we just love each other? Why can't everybody just love each other? And then we'd all be happy. But sometimes we have difficult people in our lives. Yeah, you're welcome, Lucy. Thanks for being here. Oh, Sandy, did you just hit on something? Thank you, my lovelies. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Be your brilliant self all the time. Come on, we need more brilliant people in the world, and it's just you. It's in your heart. Let's do this. You're welcome, Sandy. Oh, I shall talk with you soon. So everybody have a wonderful weekend and a brilliant, brilliant week wherever you are, and above all, be brilliant in everything you do this week. Okay. Talk next week. Bye for now.